The chakras are the 7 different dimensions through which our energies find expression. Experiences that happen within you, anger, misery, peace, joy and ecstasy, are different levels of expression of your life energies. If your life energies are dormant in Muladhara, then food and sleep will be the most dominant factors in your life. If your energies are dominant in Swadhisthana, pleasure will be most dominant in your life. This means you enjoy the physical reality in many ways. If your energies are dominant in Manipuraka, you are a doer, you can accomplish many things in the world. If your energies are dominant in Anahata, you are a very creative person. If your energies are dominant in the Vishuddhi, you will develop a powerful presence. If your energies are dominant in Agna, then you are intellectually realized. Intellectual realization can bring you to a certain state of peace and stability within yourself, irrespective of what is happening outside of you. These are just different levels of intensity. A pleasure seeker has more intensity to his life than someone whose life is just food and sleep. A man who wants to initiate something in the world has much more intensity than a pleasure seeker. An artist or a creative person lives his life more intensely compared to these 3 people. If you move into Vishuddhi, it is a completely different dimension of intensity, and Agna is higher still. If you hit your Sahasrara, you will explode into unexplained ecstasies. Without any external stimuli or reason, you are simply ecstatic because your energies have touched a certain peak. It is misleading to speak of lower and higher chakras. It is like comparing the foundation of the building to the roof. The roof is not superior, the foundation is not inferior. The quality, lifespan, stability and security of a building depends to a large extent more on the foundation than upon the roof. For example, in the physical body, your energies need to be in Muladhara chakra to some extent. Mula means root or source, and Adhara means foundation. In the engineering of the body, this is the base. If you wish to grow, you need to cultivate this. At the same time, chakras have a spiritual dimension, not just a physical one. If you bring the right amount of awareness to it, the same Muladhara can be transformed to a point where you become absolutely free of the compulsive need for food and sleep. The chakras fall into one of the 2 different dimensions. The Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka and related chakras are more concerned with keeping the body stable and rooted. These are qualities associated with earth, with self-preservation. When your energies are dominant in these chakras, your qualities are earthy and you are more in the grip of nature. The upper chakras, the Vishuddhi, Agna, Sahasrara and related chakras are centers that draw you away from the pull of the earth. They are concerned with the longing for the infinite. They make you receptive to a force that we customarily refer to as grace. The middle chakra, Anahata, is a balance between the 2. It is like a transition between your lower and upper chakras, between the survival instincts and the instinct toward liberation. It is symbolized by 2 interlocking triangles, one pointing downward and another upward, forming a 6-pointed star. Many religious traditions have used the star as a sacred symbol because some enlightened beings in these cultures realized their original nature through Anahata and discovered the interlocking triangles of this chakra within themselves. The Vishuddhi chakra, located at the pit of your throat, literally means filter. If your Vishuddhi becomes powerful, you have the ability to filter everything that enters you, or in other words, Once your Vishuddhi is very active, you grow so powerful that the external nature has no influence over you. Indian iconography depicts Adiyogi or Shiva with a blue throat because he is capable of filtering all the poisons of the outside world and preventing them from entering his system by stalling them in his throat. If your energies move into Agna Chakra, located between your eyebrows, you are intellectually enlightened, but still not experientially liberated. The great mystic philosopher of 8th century India, Adi Shankara, walked all across the land, defeating legions of scholars in metaphysical debate. His logic was unbeatable, because the union experienced in Agna endows one with an extraordinary level of intellectual insight and perception. The seventh chakra, Sahasrara, is actually located just outside the body. For most people, it is dormant. Through spiritual practice or a very intense way of living, you can activate this. If you hit your Sahasrara, your experience is no longer intellectual, it is experiential. You now explode into unexplained ecstasies, and the deepest mystical realms start opening up. Sometimes you can attain ecstasies that can turn uncontrollable if there is not sufficient spiritual practice to create necessary physiological and psychological balance. In the yogic tradition, these ecstatic mystics were termed avadutas. They were in such altered states of consciousness that they often had to be fed and taken care of by those around them because they were incapable of handling the worldly aspects of life on their own. Fundamentally, any spiritual path can be described as the journey from the Muladhara to the Sahasrara, an evolution from one dimension to another. There is a wide spectrum of spiritual practices in the yogic system that enables one to move one's energies from one chakra to another. However, from the Agna to the Sahasrara, there is no path. You must either leap or fall into it. This is one of the reasons for tremendous emphasis on a living guru in the yogic tradition. To make the leap from Agna to the Sahasrara takes immense trust. Suppose you are confronted by a bottomless abyss and someone asks you to plunge into it. You would either have to be utterly crazy, extraordinarily courageous, or absolutely trusting to do it. Almost no one has the kind of courage it takes. Very few are mad enough to live their lives with total abandon. Most people live with caution and the overriding need to protect their boundaries. So for a 99.9% of the people, what is needed is trust. Without trust, they will never make the leap. However, the abyss need not conjure dark images of a terrifying pit. Instead, it signifies a space free of all possibility of hurt and suffering, an entirely new dimension that is flawlessly non-repetitive, a dimension beyond comparison, and context that leaves you not as an individual, but as all-encompassing, infinite nature, in a stillness beyond bliss. And so, the leap is worth it. The leap is everything. With the leap, the bottomless abyss becomes boundless freedom. Sadhana. By focusing at a point 6 to 9 inches away from the region between your eyebrows for 12 to 48 minutes, with your eyes open, you can realize the nature and structure of your individual chakras, depending on the duration and level of your focus. This perception can help in stabilizing the random movement of chakras in the human physiology due to stressful external situations. This is just one aspect of a very sophisticated form of Kriya Yoga that allows you access to your inner Akashic or etheric dimension.